Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Gini, and we are in the beautiful somewhere tonight, maybe Hawaii.
Everyone has been sequestered and you have to stay at home, and for most of you, your fun places you like to go to are closed. So tonight we're giving you a little bit of beach.
A little bit of beach, and whoops. What are we doing? There we go.
All right.
Okay. So tonight we are going to talk about management. We want to hear what your concerns or things that you've experienced with management so we could help you get past the threats, the harassment, all the bad things that happen to you guys.
In fact, tell us your horror stories.
Yeah.
Many of you have it. The things that management have done to, slow your progress and get your claim accepted.
Yeah. So, tonight, let me just get on here. All right, there we go. Hello. Oh, you like my shirt? Everybody likes my shirt. Hashtag file a grievance.
No, I think they like my shirt.
You're the beachy guy.
Okay, I'm not girl, so that's you.
Yeah,
and let me discuss that.
Yes, I was just going to say, here is what is the word I'm looking for?
Disclaimer.
All
right, so if you belong to a union that doesn't want you to file grievances, ignore that shirt.
And ignore this Wednesday night feed.
Yeah, because later on I'm going to talk a little bit about filing grievances, and it's not me saying, hey, file a grievance, although I'm going to say file a grievance. It's me saying you have remedies for the things that management does to you.
Yeah.
And you have to know about that because management is hosing you, sometimes on purpose, sometimes just due to lack of their own knowledge, but they're hurting you.
Howdy.
And one of the things that I've been taught by a high-level union person is to talk about filing grievances. Every union is different. If this doesn't apply to you, then I'm sorry for you that it doesn't. But you might disregard. If you want this to apply to you, but it doesn't, take it to your higher-ups. I'm not one of them.
Smile and file. Yes, JJ.
So, we want to help you with this. Filing grievances is only one thing. There's lots of things you can do. There are 5, in fact. But this is one of them. And so, this is the file a grievance shirt. And if it doesn't apply to you, then disregard. If you want to just look at her from here up, good luck.
That's bad.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this isn't for you. But we're going to talk about some things that management is doing to you and what you can do about it tonight. When I say take them behind the woodshed, obviously, I'm from Texas. That's kind of a thing we talk about. If you're from Alabama, Mississippi, or any other southern state, you've heard that phrase too. What we're talking about is what to do to defend yourself when management comes after you. And hopefully this doesn't happen. We'd like you to have a nice relationship with management. I think that's the best way for you to have a career that's long-term, is that you don't have problems with management. But when they give you no other choice, we're going to tell you what to do about it.
Yeah. So with that said, tonight we're talking about management. The questions you may have, things that you've been hearing or they're saying to you and you don't know if it's right or wrong. Now, all of our rules, laws, and regulations is on our Twitter, where you can go on our Twitter page at fedinjurycenter.com.
No, .com. At
Fed
Injury Center.
At Fed Injury Center.
Go to Twitter. Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at Fed Injury Center, because tonight I'm just going to talk in generalities. For example, I'm going to say that you have 3 years to file a claim. I'm not going to tell you what the Code of Federal Regulations is, because frankly it's saved on my phone, and my phone is what I'm talking into. So I'm not going to talk about what the specific CFR is or the specific U.S. code is, but if you go to my Twitter page, at Fed Injury Center, all of these things are listed there. And so you can actually find the exact rules. Why is that important to you? I'm glad you asked. Because when your supervisor tells you that you only had 72 hours to file your claim, wouldn't you like to be able to have your Twitter in front of you on your phone? We all keep a phone in our pockets. And say, yeah, but the U.S. code and the Code of Federal Regulations says I have 3 years, and you can show them the rules. So that's why we do this. My Twitter page is your Twitter page. It doesn't belong to me. It's there for you. Without you, I don't need it. Okay, I'd do something else. So my Twitter page is your Twitter page, and you need to go get your Twitter page. So at Fed Injury Center is your Twitter page, not mine.
Right.
I'm not posting anything on there that's not relevant to you. So get on there. It's not a waste of your time. Don't follow anybody but me, and you'll never waste your time. I'm giving you a warning. If you follow anybody else, you will waste time. But with mine, you won't.
Anyway, so don't forget to like, follow, share this page right now before we begin.
Yeah, go do that right now. Like and follow it now. Hit the share button now.
Yes.
So it's playing in your news feed as well. And your friends and coworkers that are friends with you on Facebook will see it. So right now, do that. It may drop you off of this. That's okay. Come right back. But go like, follow, and share it right now. Like, get it done.
Hey, Joyce Winter says she loves your shirt.
Thank you, Joyce. You know what? I'm just saying, look, some of you were inside all day. You didn't get to drive across the causeway going to Tampa from Clearwater today and see the beach and the
you're not
palm
sitting
trees
in front of the beach like we are.
So we wanted you to see it. I got this stuff here, and I got this stuff there, and I think there's like a drink down here. You could probably.
He's got crabs. No, that sounds bad.
I don't have crabs.
He doesn't have crabs. He has some crabs. He's got a drink, a surfboard, and a beer.
You should get at least a drink, a surfboard, or a beer.
He's got a martini.
Yeah,
so
get one of those. This is going to be a fun night. Look,
yeah.
We're all stressed out. Everyone's freaking out about the coronavirus. Last week even, or especially 2 weeks ago, I wasn't worried at all. I thought the media was panicking and overhyping, and they are overhyping. But now I've realized it's serious, and many of you, our friends out there in the federal world, have to deal with this. The VA employees have to deal with it. TSA employees have to deal with it. Postal employees have to deal with it. Social Security has a line around the building. You guys got to deal with it. And so that's another thing we're going to talk about tonight. But you're all stressed out about it. And tonight we're just going to have a good time.
Yeah, so don't forget to share before we start. And a lot of you are asking. So we're going to touch on the coronavirus just a little bit because we're not doctors. We don't have all the answers. And there's so much stuff, so many different answers, so many different things that are being said. But what we can tell you about it is... wash your freaking hands. Why did it have to take the coronavirus?
It's like, did we not wash our hands before this?
Wash your freaking hands. Like, I've seen it in airports, restaurants. People go in, use a bathroom, and walk out. How gross are you?
And I hate that.
Like, you touch your face, wash your hands. You touch your pet, wash your hands. You clean, wash your hands.
Use the bathroom, wash your damn hands.
You go to the freaking bathroom, wash your hands.
This could be the wash your hands episode. We're in airports all the time.
So we see it.
We love you, TSA, and we appreciate you.
It's not even about TSA. No, it's about people.
Well, it is. Thank you that my planes always land safely because you don't let the assholes on the plane. So thank you. But wash your hands. I mean, for real.
That's all we have to say. And wash your freaking hands. Sneeze into your arm. Cough into your arm.
And then wash your hands again.
Yeah. And... I mean, if you cough, that doesn't mean you have the virus. I freaking been coughing right here, as you saw. I have allergies. Allergy season in Florida sucks gas balls.
But if you need to get tested, get tested.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not doctors. My PhD is in OWCP. It is not in medicine, so there's no doctors on this page. But you guys need to be sharing. Please share. There's not a lot of people watching tonight. I know everyone's at home, so...
yeah.
Please share this.
So I did, several of you have sent me a link to that article on that you guys, not meaning you guys because all unions are watching.
Yeah.
The USPS is going to be out there and delivering your mail. Please, those of you that are non-federal employees that do watch our show, because we get a lot of people, and tell your friends and coworkers that are not in the federal world, be kind, just be patient.
Their jobs are hard enough already. Now they got to worry about this crap.
Because you don't know, we get a lot of stuff from China that come in, and
freaking China.
We have to be really careful. Like packages, your Wish stuff, clothes women order. You don't know where stuff is coming from, so just be patient, be kind, just be clean. Don't price gouge. Don't freaking stock up your entire garage with toilet paper.
You don't have to hoard toilet paper.
Yeah.
eventually we're going to talk about OWCP tonight, believe me. But grocery stores are an essential service. It's not going to close down. They're not going to run out, okay? You don't have to do that. If tomorrow the president comes on and says we're closing everything down, then this changes. But for right now, they're not doing that, so we don't have to hoard.
Yeah.
Just real quick, it occurs to me, we didn't post on everybody's page today to follow this, right?
No, I'm waiting for everybody to do it first.
The reason we didn't do that is because many of you, especially the rural carrier Facebook pages, have blocked us or asked us not to post, or for some reason don't want to have us share our very valuable information on your union Facebook pages. So if you want them shared, do it yourself. Please go do that right now. Share it to your Facebook pages. It's yours. It's your page.
Yeah.
So do that. We're trying to get this out, but we're respecting what we've been told. So we're not putting things out there the way we did before. It's your job. You're watching us. You go share this.
So with that said, we're going to move on to the questions. We are talking about management, what your rights are, what the things you should do when they're harassing and threatening you. So first question from Mike Guerrero is, can I file a claim if I get the virus if an inmate has it at work?
All right, so this has been coming to us multiple times in the last couple of weeks. This is the answer. Number one, this is all uncharted territory. None of us has experienced the coronavirus before today. And so we're all like, hey, we have more questions than answers. But here's what I know about OWCP. In order to get a claim approved, you have to prove that it happened at work. And so if you're going to prove that you contracted the coronavirus, and I pray that you don't, you have to prove that you actually contracted it at work versus at the bar, at the grocery store, at a movie theater, at an amusement park, at home, due to a family member. So it's going to be hard. I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and say it'll be easy. It'll be hard.
But you still can file for it.
You can file for it. It is a CA1 almost certainly. And again, this is uncharted territory. In my opinion, contracting the coronavirus happens in a single shift. It doesn't happen over a period of time. So it would definitely go on a CA1 form. But your doctor would have to be able to prove that you contracted it at work. So I don't have good news for you. That's going to be hard. Doctors are bad enough at this already, at getting musculoskeletal injuries accepted. They're terrible at it. So this one's going to be tricky. But you don't have to not file it. I mean, if you know that it happened at work, then make your doctor know and make them write a good report. But you can do it. The trick will be that you've got to prove that it happened at work and not someplace else. And that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, especially right now, because it's worldwide.
Yeah.
Like, it's everywhere. And we don't know who we come in contact with that has it. So you got to know for sure that you came in contact with somebody that does have it. And then that's the way you get it approved.
Mike Wilson says, does the doctor have to write it in its narrative that it's coronavirus?
Well, I mean, in order for the answer is yes, okay? Thank you, Mike. The doctor has to write that in the narrative, but that means you had to have tested positive for it. And if you test positive for it, then of course the doctor has to write that in the narrative.
JJ said, is that even possible to prove where a mail carrier caught the virus? Which is, for you guys, it is going to be a little difficult.
Well, here's what I know. I can prove where I didn't catch it. Okay, let's say that I'm not social. I'm going to go extreme. I don't go to bars, restaurants. I order all of my groceries from a .com someplace. I don't interact with people at all except for work. It's easy for me to prove that I didn't contract it someplace else. I live alone. I don't have social interaction at all. That's my extreme example so you can see what it would take. You'd have to be able to prove that you didn't contract it someplace else. And then you'd have to prove that you did at the same time get it from somebody in the course of work. It's going to be hard. But again, this is all brand new. And the government is bending in a lot of ways right now to try to help. So this might be don't get it. I mean, I was going to say this is a good time to file the claim. I don't want you to have it. What I'm trying to say is I think that it's worth filing the claim if you're 100% sure that it happened at work.
Yeah. Then.
And then I hope this goes away and we never have to talk about it again.
Don said, heard it was on the news. It remains on metal for 2 to 3 days on mailboxes. So, USPS.
No, we don't know for sure what the answer to this is.
We don't know. But here's the thing. A lot of you have been saying that, what if the supervisor says, well, you didn't catch it from work? Well, here we go with the management issue.
All right, so let me answer that. If your supervisor is such a jerk that they say you didn't catch it from work, the answer is they're not a medical doctor. They don't know where you caught it. Disregard what they say.
Yeah.
Ignore it. And in most cases, when it comes to you filing a claim, ignore what management says because they're looking out for themselves. They're trying to reduce the number of claims that are filed, and so ignore that. If you know for sure that, it was work-related, file the claim. And we don't care what management thinks. Don't think even a second about what they think.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So, we get questions all the time on when you file your injury, management will come and tell you it's not work-related and you're okay, you don't need to file it. What should they do then? Here's one of the rules that you need to understand. So,
okay, if you want to see the rules, go to Twitter at Fed Injury Center. The actual rules are there. They're posted word for word. If they're not word for word, I'll tell you, but usually they're word for word. But if management says it's not work-related.
Any injury we're talking about.
So on a CA1 form, page 2, management gets to fill it out. And they have a few questions they can answer. And if they don't think it's work-related, they can put that there. But on page 1, it's you. And if you know it's work-related, you put it there. So we don't care what they say. If they refuse to give you your CA1 or your CA2 form, they're violating the rules, the laws, the regulations that say that you have a right. OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA, you can call. They say you have a right to report work injuries. So management cannot prevent you from reporting your injuries. You need to do it. And if they prevent you, they say, no, we're not going to let you. Call OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA. Now, I'll say here, this is probably the first place I will say you should consider grievances. And if you are a rule carrier and don't want to file grievances, forget what I just said. But if you're everybody else and you like to protect yourself, this may be a place to file a grievance.
File a grievance.
NALC presidents have told me this. AFGE presidents have told me this.
Mail handlers.
APW. So all the others say, file a grievance if they violate the law or the rules or whatever. So if that's not you, it's not you. But this may be a place you want to consider it because they have, by preventing you from filing your injuries, they have violated the Code of Federal Regulations that says you have a right. So contact OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA, and say, hey, I'm not safe, I'm hurt, and they won't let me report my injury. Is this a violation? And what we do is we ask questions. Is this a violation? You're not calling making accusations. You're just going to tell the truth. The truth is so valuable here. Just tell them, I tried to report my injury, they wouldn't let me. Is this a violation? Okay, that's what you do. Is this a violation? We're not making accusations. We're protecting ourselves. We're asking questions.
Here's what we do know when this has happened, and we know this for a fact here in Florida by one of the presidents. They did that. Mm-hmm. And what happened, somebody reported their injury. Management said no, they're not going to fill out the CA1 or CA2, whatever it was. Well, they remembered what we told them. They even got with the president. The president told them, yes, you should contact OSHA, ask the question. This is why Chris is saying ask first. Comes to find out, OSHA got there in 48 hours and investigated everything that was going on at the workplace. So this is what will happen. Maybe you're going to be helping some other people that this happened to, but they come and then all of a sudden investigations open up for all sorts of stuff when OSHA comes in because they need to check everything in detail.
Yeah. So protect yourself. But again, remember, all of these enforcement things like call OSHA, file a grievance, the other things I'll say later, I didn't just make this stuff up. Yeah. I'm not an expert at union activities. That is not my PhD. I don't have a PhD, but if I had one, it would be in workers' comp. But all of this was taught to me by a very high-level union president who fights hard for his people.
Yeah.
And if he was on the other side of the table from your supervisor is losing.
Yeah.
And
we
so,
know that for a fact.
for sure, they're losing. And so I learned this from him. I'm grateful. I've learned so much.
Yeah, we did.
And so I'm here to teach it to you. And he knows I am. I have lunch with him, and he says, Chris, tell people this.
Yeah, he does tell us to do that because we're able to reach more of you than he can, and he's only one union, and we talk to all five of you.
I mean, he reaches a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we reach tens of thousands of people every week. And so I'm just telling you what I was told to tell you. If your union doesn't participate in this way, ignore what that shirt says. What's next?
So Don said, why didn't the post office have a plan when this first came out of DC?
Oh, look, nobody had a plan. I'm not going to get political. I'm not bashing the agencies, any of them, or the government at all about what happened here. We were all caught with our pants down. So we don't have opinions on that.
So Chris said, just to make sure, if I was to pick up the virus at therapy for work-related injury, it would still be covered, correct?
So by rule, that would be covered for sure. It's called a consequential condition or consequential injury. But again, you have to prove that it happened at therapy, and you're at therapy because you had a work-related injury that was approved. So yes, it could be accepted. But again, this is uncharted territory. But if you're at therapy and you contracted there, but you were only there because of another work injury that was approved, it could be accepted.
Yeah.
This is all new. Like, nobody's ever had a coronavirus work injury accepted ever in the history of the world.
Right. So this is all new for
But in theory,
OWCP too.
based on the rules, it would be classified as a consequential injury or condition.
So how many of you out there has been harassed or threatened or, given notes, nasty text messages by your management?
Or specifically said, we're going to fire you
threatening
if you report this.
So we do know that, for instance, there's somebody in Miami that was reaching out to me, and they were being treated, and he called me and stated that if he filed his injury, his manager said he's going to get fired.
So let's do something real quick. If you have ever seen it, experienced it, or heard about it, hit the angry emoji one time. One time. Don't do it multiple times. Do one time.
Yeah, let's see how many of you heard about management threatening or harassing.
Just hit it one time, and let's see.
And so when he called me, he said, you told me that I wasn't going to get fired. And I said, no, you can't get fired if you file your work injury. So he wound up going back, same thing. I finally got to the point where I said, I'm going to send you the law stating you can't get fired. And what comes with the consequences, and I'll have Chris tell you what the penalties are if they do something like that. So I sent him the CFR code, texted it to him. He went back for the third time, talked to his supervisor, and he's like, well, I found this code and you can't fire me. And then, she turned around and she's like,
oh, I wasn't going to fire you.
I wasn't going to fire you.
I was just upset.
Saying, you shouldn't.
20 people just hit the emoji. So this is common, okay? That's a lot of people hitting just one time. If they threaten to fire you, you contact OSHA immediately.
Yes.
Contact your union immediately as well. I'm not sure which one you contact first. I guess it depends on what union that you're with.
Yeah.
And what you want to do, but to be fired or threatened to be fired because you report an injury is against the law. OSHA has 9 employee rights. The 6th employee right is the right to report a work injury. Why did they put that as a right if it's not your right?
Yeah.
And they also say in their website, and if you'll go to my Twitter page, @FedInjuryCenter, you'll find this stuff, that it's against the law to fire or threaten to fire or, retaliate. So these are there, for you. 1-800-321-OSHA. If you report an injury and they threaten you, you call OSHA. And then call your union and see what they want to do about it. Some of them want to file grievances. Some of them don't. You guys figure that out.
So you guys all do know that if they refuse to file your CA1 or CA2, that there's a fine behind it and a statute behind it. Tell them what it is.
Well,
The
so
510.
no, I got it. If they refuse to process your claim, or they try to prevent you, or they make false statements, they can be fined from anywhere from $5,000 or $500 to $5,000. They can be imprisoned from anywhere to a year to 5 years or 10 years. It's been a while because I'm not doing as many live trainings anymore. Why is that? Never mind. So, anyways, they can go to jail or get fined, and it's pretty heavy. Why do they put this in the code? Because it's a real thing. And when you contact OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA, you can maybe make that happen.
Yeah.
Let me just stop for a second. My mother-in-law's watching, and I'm going to kiss up for a minute and say, "Hey, Ma."
Oh, my God.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, my God. Anyways, Jennifer. Hi, Ma.
Hey, Ma.
Jennifer says, can one file a grievance against OIC for not giving safety and stand-up talks? Haven't had one for 6 months and still nothing regarding the coronavirus.
Well, if you can, whether you can or cannot file a grievance, each union, each agency has different grievance procedures and what you can and can't file. So I really can't answer that, but you should talk to your union, and I think you should be involved with your union. I think everybody should be involved with their union, but go talk to them because it's different for everybody. I can't really answer that.
Yeah. Wayne Mitchell said, I'm going to be returning to work after being off since October 2018. I'm concerned about being threatened.
Hey, Wayne, if you're threatened, 1-800-321-OSHA. The other thing now is EEO complaints. You can file an EEO complaint if you are being discriminated against because you have an injury. Then you may well have a valid complaint. You contact EEO and tell them your story. They have counselors on staff whose job it is to listen to your story and tell you if you have a valid complaint, and if you do, you file that, because they're not allowed to harass you or in any way discriminate against you because you have or have had a work injury.
You guys have to stand up. Like when we're doing our training, you know, you, like Chris always says, when they push against you, you need to push back. Don't
and push
let
harder.
them get to you. They get to you because they want to get to you. They want you to quit.
Now, when I say push back and push harder, I am not referring to violent acts. Do not get violent. I'm not even talking about raising your voice. I'm telling you what you can do.
Your rights.
So the things you can do is file a grievance. You can contact OSHA. You can file an EEO complaint. You can file labor board charges. You can contact employee assistance, EAP, and you can try to get mediation or try to get help there. So you have things you can do. So when I say push back, I don't mean
physical.
Don't do that. You have rights, and there are agencies that are there to help you, and that's what we're here talking about tonight. And we're talking about all of them, including grievances.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to hear about grievances, this isn't a show for you, because I'm going to talk about it. And it might not be for you, but it's for everyone else, for damn sure. I guarantee it, because they told me.
So, Ruth, we hear this one all the time when people call us. I was told I was faking my injury by supervisors. We hear that all the time, and this is what we tell them to
Who
tell
cares?
you.
Who cares what the supervisor thinks?
Are you a medical doctor? Let
Yeah.
me see your license.
Show me your license.
We
Where's your medical
actually
license?
had a steward in Alabama do that to the supervisor. They didn't say another word after that, and their claim was filed.
We also had a supervisor and a postmaster who got fired. We had another one that got removed because they followed these 5 things: grievance, OSHA, EEO, labor board charges, and EAP. Those are your 5 remedies that are available to you. They're available to every person. Even if your union doesn't do it, you still can. You know, some of you don't know that you don't have to have your union to file a grievance. You don't have to have the union to file an EEO claim. You definitely don't need them to call OSHA.
Right.
And any individual can call employee assistance. You don't have to be even associated with the union, although you should be, because, you know, they're in your corner. But you can do all these things yourself. Everyone can.
Yeah, and even OSHA, if you don't want to call and you want to file online, you can definitely do it online too. So understand there's, you know, if you want to just be anonymous, you can ask them a question online, and you can definitely file a complaint online as well.
They have a whistleblower page on OSHA, and you can click on it and do the thing right there.
Yep. Okay, Lupita said, I was a 204B but was on my route, and because I reported the injuries, besides being harassed and threatened, has all access removed from supervision, which they did me a favor, put up to date, I still get harassed and threatened.
Well, they definitely did you a favor by not making you be a supervisor. But if they retaliated against you, retaliation is not legal, and you should call OSHA and call EEO and ask them if you have a valid complaint.
Yeah.
Ask. It's just ask. Do I have a complaint? Is this legitimate? Just ask them.
You guys should really have 1-800-321-OSHA's number in your phone.
Yeah.
Just so you can call them and ask a question, especially if you're being harassed, especially if you're being threatened, and especially if they don't want you to file your claim.
Could you imagine what it would look like if you're in front of your supervisor and you
call
tell your
OSHA.
phone, hey, SIRI, I don't want the phone to do it, but if you said, call OSHA, and it just started calling OSHA, wouldn't that be funny?
That would.
Everybody just
Everybody
put
should do
1-800-321-OSHA, save that into your phone, okay? That's going to be really funny. And in front of your supervisor, say, hey, SIRI, call OSHA.
Oh my God.
That's from now on, everybody, let's even hashtag it. Hey, SIRI, call OSHA.
Oh my gosh.
How funny would that be?
Yes, we're going to make another shirt. Courtney said, I was...
We are going to make that shirt.
I was told
That's gonna
I
be fun.
actually injured myself at home. And even after medical evidence was told, it's not as bad as I'm making it seem.
The supervisor doesn't have an opinion that matters.
They are not medical doctors. Obviously, if they were in the medical field, they wouldn't be working at the post office.
They'd be nurses and doctors and physical therapists, which none of them are. And so what you want to do is disregard everything they say about it. It doesn't matter. So if you have a supervisor saying, you're not hurt, whatever. You got hurt at home, whatever. You don't know how I got hurt. My doctor does. And the doctor's information on their narrative holds all the weight. The supervisor's opinion is irrelevant.
So Joe said, what kind of false statements are you talking about on the form?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. So there's a question on there that says, did this happen in the performance of duty? And if the supervisor says no, it might be a willful lie. So the way they get punished or penalized is if they willfully, knowingly put something that's false on there. So if they say, no, it wasn't in the performance of duty, they got hurt playing basketball on the weekend. Well, whatever. That would be a willful false statement. They may say, did this happen due to willful misconduct? And they may tell a lie there. There's several statements. So the point is, you need to know what page 2 says. And you need to read page 2. And in fact, I always teach, get copies of the whole thing, including page 2. Because page 2 is where the supervisor says these things. And even one of the things they say is, are you going to controvert pay? Wouldn't you like to know? And the law says, the Code of Federal Regulations says, you have a right to copies of everything, including that page. And the supervisors will tell you, you don't have a right to that. I'm not going to give it to you.
Yes, you do.
But if you're on Twitter, at Fed Injury Center, you'll have the Code of Federal Regulations that applies to that. And you can say, yeah, I do get that. And you can get copies of it.
Yeah, we heard this once. The employee, and it was actually a PW, that had no clue where her paperwork went. 1, manager told her to fill it out at home. 2, drop it off and it'll get sent.
Don't do any of that.
It wasn't sent in for maybe, I think, on the 9th day, and the supervisors have 10 days to submit it.
Yeah.
And on top of it, the supervisor changed her address to the post office address.
So all the mail came to the post office instead of your house.
Yeah.
All the mail is supposed to go to your personal residence.
Yeah, and you guys remember what HIPAA is all about, so...
They're not allowed to have that stuff.
They can't... I do know that when I spoke to the president friend of ours that, when HIPAA gets involved and when it becomes a federal thing, you guys can also contact Department of Justice.
Well, and the Privacy Act, and there's all kinds of things. Hey, just real quick, those of you that are here watching right now, share. Please share this. Like, follow, and share. Like, follow, and share. Especially like it, because you do. Especially follow it, because you are. And share it, especially because your friends aren't yet. And so do that for your friends, your coworkers, because they need this information. Imagine, before you came here and heard this stuff, you didn't know anything. Your coworkers don't know it either. Like, follow, and share.
Yeah.
Especially like it. Definitely follow it. And by all means, share it now. So do that.
Linda, we know that there's a handful of really good supervisors.
Of course there are. We know
There
a couple
are.
of them.
Yeah,
we know some nice ones.
Yeah, we know some.
In
and
fact,
some that actually called us to be seen.
one of our really good friends was a union steward and just moved into supervisor. We don't change how much we love her because she's a supervisor. You know, there are nice supervisors, but the sad fact is, too many of them aren't. And I come from management, not in the federal government, but I have a management background. I have a master's in management, and I know what a bad manager is. I've written articles, I've written books on management, and I know what they are that are the not good ones.
Yeah.
And too many of the not good ones work for you. And this is just a fact. I know it as a fact, and most of you know it too. So the good managers, I'm definitely not talking to you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a good manager. You're supposed to be. But too many of you aren't. You got promoted to a point of incompetence, and you treat your people bad. And I'm talking to you. But the good ones, I'm not talking to you. I appreciate you.
So Christine said, FYI, there's a mandatory coronavirus stand-ups that management certify that they were given since the end of February. So those of you that want to know that.
Yeah.
How long do you have to report an injury? USPS says when it happens. What if I wait a couple of days to report it?
So USPS has a policy that says you should report your injuries immediately. And you can actually be written up. Usually those write-ups get dismissed, especially if your union is strong and they fight for you.
Yep.
I know that because I didn't make that up. That was told to me by a strong union president. But, so they want you to report right away. Guess when I want you to report?
Now.
Right away.
Today.
So you should report right away, but you should not avoid reporting just because you didn't report right away. That's one thing they do to you. They say, oh, you didn't report right away, so you're going to be in trouble, which makes you say, I don't want to report. But the law says, the U.S. Code and the Code of Federal Regulations says you have 3 years to report, and you can still get help. So you might get written up, and if your union is strong and they want to fight for you, they'll probably get it dismissed. But the law says you have a right to report within 3 years of the injury. So do not avoid reporting out of fear that something may happen to you. If they penalize you for it, call OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA.
Shout out goes to Jason Basil. What's
up,
up,
Jason?
From Massachusetts.
Hey.
Thanks for all the information. You guys are awesome. Thanks
You're awesome.
For everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Tanya says, if I'm not mistaken, you have 3 years to file a claim. Yes.
Got it.
Injuries should be reported immediately, and hopefully management will actually do their job.
And when they don't, that's what we're doing. We hope they do. We know some of them do, but most of them don't. So you got to know what to do about it.
I know that there was, and we know this because of the stories that we hear with the presidents, a supervisor from Chicago came down to Florida area being very nasty. They went through all this appealing and what is it that he normally goes through? Not mediation. Whatever it is that your president fights for when they get in front of the attorney and everybody. She left there, came here, did the same thing. Left here, got sent to Pensacola, did the same thing. And she no longer has a job. I wonder why. You
Took
can't
too
keep
long.
doing that. You can't keep harassing your employees.
So, as a manager, and I am, my company has a small number of employees now, but in the past, I had 70 to 100 employees at any given time, and my turnover rate was always super small, like really, really small turnover rate, because people were happy. And as a manager, your employees being happy means that your business is productive. And I have an uncle who said his secret to success, and he was the manager of a business that was the fastest to $1 billion in the company. And his secret was to love everybody. Love everybody. And so I kind of live that. Love everybody, but your managers don't because they haven't been taught it and they don't care. And so I'm talking to them. Those of you that love everybody, I love you. We're good. But the rest of you, don't love you. I don't love those people.
Well, if management will never get on the same page, there's always management fighting the union. It's always going to happen.
But that's why you have unions, to fight back against management and to file those grievances if they want to. What's next?
We've had many, many stories.
Kim Davis is watching.
Yeah,
Kim.
she was on earlier.
Well, I just saw that it says she's watching. Hi, Kim.
Um,
Kim's our friend. We love you, Kim.
Oh my gosh.
We love you, Kim.
Can they place you on a suspension with no pay, then try to fire you? If it happened to my sister, and by the way, she's watching too, and really appreciate your help.
So if you file a work injury and they suspend you and try to fire you,
With no pay.
1-800-321-OSHA. Tell that story. Go ahead and call EEO as well. Tell that story there. Your union should be fighting for you. I'd be really surprised if they're not already. They probably are. If they're not, go tell them so they will. You cannot be fired for having a work injury. That's against the law.
Kim says, I don't think I will ever be able to return to work. 5 years to retirement. How long can you be on work comp?
There's no deadline for how long you can be on work comp. Some of the crafts have timelines to where they try to assign you or get you retrained. But OWCP will allow you to be on for as long as you're on. You have lifetime medical benefits. But if you're working closely with your union, they may be able to help you get to retirement, because you can have permanent limited duty positions, and it's all up to the agency, the managers, and so forth. But your union can help advocate for you.
Yes. So what I want Chris to talk about is some of the laws, some of the rules that they can have backing them, just so we can talk about it, so they can hear and go to the Twitter page to find you.
So go to Twitter at Fed Injury Center, the @ Fed Injury Center, and go ahead and like and follow that page. Follow it. I can't remember. Follow it. Go there, okay? You need the updates when they show up. The thing that happens is people try to report their injuries, and supervisors, managers, they say, well, you missed your deadline. We hear all the time, you have a 72-hour deadline, which is nonsense. A 30-day deadline, a 45-day deadline, all that is nonsense. It's all ridiculous. You have a 3-year deadline to report your injuries. So that's number one. The next thing they do is they say, well, you can't have continuation of pay. Well, the rule says if you report your injury within 30 days, you can have COP. COP lasts for 45 days or until your claim's accepted. But the CA-16 form is one that's violated all the time. The CA-16 pays all of your medical bills and therapy bills and imaging bills and surgical bills and pharmacy bills and bills for braces and so forth for 60 days. But you have to report your injury within 7 days. But if you report right away, that's not an issue. But they won't give you the CA-16. But the law says they have to give it to you. The Code of Federal Regulations says it. The CA-10 form says it, what a federal employee should do when injured at work. It says that management has to give you that CA-16 if you have a CA-1 form, a CA-1 injury that happened in a single shift, that you reported within 7 days. And their opinion on the severity of the injury is irrelevant. If you reported your CA-1 condition within 7 days, you have a right to a 16. Why is that important? Because it pays all those bills for 60 days while your claim's not accepted. When you don't have that form, you use your health insurance. You're using money out of your pocket. And you're making health care decisions based on finances, which isn't fair. You shouldn't have to do that. So get a CA-16 form. So you have 3 years to report. You get COP if you report within 30 days. You get a CA-16 if you report within 7. But you all know, report immediately no matter what, even though you have 3 years.
Yep.
Those are the biggest ones that are missed all the time, and those are the ones that management violate all the time. And get copies of your forms because you have a right. The code says you have a right. Don't let them prevent you from getting the forms, because they write bad things on those forms, and you need to know what they say, because your doctor needs to see it so they can write narratives to fix it.
Yeah.
Those are the key things.
So April says a union member was hurt after a contract driver breached security and came inside the building.
Ouch.
Management still has not given her all the paperwork she needs. She's using EAP therapy visits and referred to a psychiatrist. How does she get OWCP to pay for these visits?
Contact OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA, and tell them they're not letting her report an injury. That's against the law. So it's definitely against OSHA, and they'll definitely fix that.
But how it does work, if you're talking about like she was scared and she's getting therapy visits with a psychiatrist, to get it approved by OWCP, you see the psychiatrist, obviously she's been seeing it,
Yeah.
and then you find a medical doctor who does OWCP for DOL. You go to them and let them work with the psychiatrist.
To write a great
To
narrative.
write a great narrative based upon what the psychiatrist said, because that's his specialty on what happened.
Or her.
Yeah, and then they submit that the MD, the OWCP doctor, not the psychiatrist, will then submit it to DOL, and it should get accepted. We've seen a lot of them get accepted.
Yeah.
And then what happens is all these therapy visits or any sort of trauma that you're going through or whatever testing you need will be covered by DOL.
Correct. And that's what you want.
Yeah, and management cannot stop you from doing that, especially if you're scared or threatened and stuff like this do happen.
Yeah, so they can't stop you. You call OSHA and get that fixed.
Vincent said, well, I had to get federal work comp attorney for the attack on OWCP. Just an update. Yikes.
Wait, what's the question?
He's telling. He's not asking a question. Just
Hey, what's up, Vincent?
Gwen said, what if you don't have proper union representation in the office? Our rep is about to retire and nobody wants to be the steward.
You need to call somebody that is above them. You can call your state. You can call the national office. Contact somebody that can help you. I didn't like that answer either. Like, when I said it, I was like, I hate that answer. But that's the answer.
I don't know if this is Dr. Patron or Michelle, but they love this shirt, Chris.
Hey, what's up?
Oh my gosh. Jessica says, I was approved OWCP and permanent restrictions. Only offer I've been given was to come back to my route, basically full duty. I had to reject that offer due to it not being within the restrictions. How long, or do they even have to offer me another job that should be better to fit the restrictions given?
So it depends on your craft. And like rural carriers, if they go 2 years and they're off of work, they're dealing with some issues. Other crafts are not the same. So get with your union, see where you're at on that, and try to help them advocate for you. Because, you know, if you have restrictions that say you can't lift, say, like a 50-pound box, and they say, well, your only option is to go back to lifting 50-pound boxes, that's obviously not a good option for you. And so hopefully your union reps can help you with that, because that's who you have to rely on for that kind of help.
You know, I've asked the union president before, what do they do? What do you guys do as union members when your steward's not helping, supervisor's shitty, and you just need union representation, and your union president or no one in the union office is helping, and you feel like they're against you? He said to contact your higher up than your president.
Like a national business agent?
Right.
A state rep?
Yeah, for NALC, definitely reach out to your NBA.
Yeah.
And
they're great.
Yeah.
Like, they have tons of knowledge.
And I know
This is their specialty.
Yeah, for the rural carriers, you guys reach out to your district reps, because each area has a rep.
Mm-hmm.
And for everyone else, contact district. Contact your district and tell them. And, you know, he said that they're going to investigate. They will see why the union isn't helping you, or what's going on. Are you the one that's just being, you know, whatever?
Yeah.
But that's what that's the chain of command when you're not getting any help from
So escalate it. Use Google. Go find your office that you're looking for, even if it's the national office, and call it.
Jennifer said, can't wait to tell Siri to call OSHA when the time comes.
Hey,
That's
SIRI. Call OSHA.
So yeah, the number to OSHA is 1-800-321-OSHA.
Here, watch this.
Oh my God.
Hey, Siri.
My Siri doesn't work. Yeah,
Well, I hope your Siri works.
my Siri doesn't work.
I can't believe mine didn't.
So yeah,
That was a major fail. Look, I want you to set yours up so it works. Get that done.
so
Tell it to call OSHA.
go to the Twitter page and check out the rules and the laws and the Code of Federal Regulations
At Fed Injury Center.
for all the management issues that you're having, because
Yeah.
it's all listed there. From time to time, I'll post some of them on there. I'll probably post one tomorrow, just so you guys can see what we're talking about. So,
and our I know you'll like me talking about this.
Wasn't done talking.
It
He always
happens all the time.
interrupts.
I do that.
You go to Twitter and you find all the rules and the laws, so management can't harass you. Thank you.
Oh, she's done. So this app that we've been trying to get out there, it's been, I don't want to call it a nightmare. It's just, it took too long. Anyways, when it comes out, all these rules and laws and regulations are there as well. We put all this important stuff on our app. So the Federal Injury Centers app, if you have Android or you have iPhone, go look for it. The Federal Injury Centers app, and then sign up, create an account, and get the app, the Federal Injury Centers app, because it's going to be super useful.
Well, it is ready.
It's
to
free.
Go on.
Free and useful.
If you have Android, the app is ready. You just go to your Google Play Store, right, on Android. Download Federal Injury Centers and you'll find it, and it'll ask you for some of your basic information.
Yeah, sign up.
And there's no money. You don't have to swipe your credit card this time. Kidding. No.
Ever. Just sign up.
Yeah. And go ahead and check it out, because you can share the video. You'll get updates once you've created your account on the app. You'll get notification when we go live, and the Twitter info is on there, so you'll automatically be connected to the Twitter page. So it's really cool. Forms are on there. Locations of doctors are on there, and that we're still working, and we're building more and more doctors on there. So so those of you that hold Androids, go to the Google Play Store, find Federal Injury Centers with the little, no, he's not wearing it, the little logo we have.
It's Federal Injury Centers.
Federal Injury Centers, and then go on, you'll know it's us, and you'll get all the info. It's pretty cool. Go through all the little boxes. As we go along with franchises and getting more doctors on board, more doctors will get in there, more locations will get in there. So it'll be really fun.
But get familiar with the app, because it's got all this useful information there. We made it on purpose. It's there for you. It's really important to you. So get it. The Federal Injury Centers app.
Dr. Russian, my Siri doesn't work. I'll say something like, sorry, you're stupid, or whatever.
And next thing you know, we got a pizza at the door.
Yeah, I know. Ashley Cox said, so I'm a union steward, and there was an employee recently hurt bad at work. He took an ambulance and never got a CA-16. The supervisor said they wouldn't provide one. I was working with him because it was after 7 days. Since it's reported the day of, shouldn't he have gotten the CA-16?
So the supervisor actually can still give the CA-16. What it says is after 7 days they don't have to. So get one. And I'm glad you're a steward and you're here. Thank you for watching. File a grievance on that person's behalf. Contact EEO and find out if they were treated unfairly after having a work injury, because the 16 is the law. It's your right. If you didn't get it after you were injured at work, you might have been treated unfairly. And I would do something about it. The more of you that do something about it, the more of you will get their 16s in the future. So don't just let it go. I think that's the main point. Don't let it go. But they can still give a 16 in exchange for not having a grievance filed, in exchange for not calling OSHA, in exchange for not having an EEO complaint. They can still do it. They just usually don't.
Vincent, I do remember when we were discussing you're denied 3 times. Finally, after the lawyer got involved, now they're playing a game with whether or not I still need to do surgery. Thank you all for your knowledge and keep it up. So Tanya Marie said, the answer to your question, Gini, is I called Federal Injury Centers after the union sent me to a doctor in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Mind you, I live in Norton, Massachusetts, and they swore that the doctor had experience dealing with OWCP.
They sent you out of state?
Yeah, my claim was still being denied, and I'm angry.
I would be too.
This claim could have been approved for a long time ago. Now I'm stuck with a $400 bill from the doctor and $1,400 in union dues. Feeling frustrated because I feel like the union did more harm than good.
Well, okay, so we have, let me just say this. We have offices in Massachusetts.
She goes there.
And those offices have a doctor who has a greater than 90% success rate.
She goes there.
Yeah, she's saying she goes there. I'm saying this for everybody else. if you were sent out of state and you're in Massachusetts, be aware that there is no good rational reason for them to send you away. It's all based on irrational bullshit. And you should have been sent to an office that could A, be close to you, and B, get it accepted. And that's what we do. We don't do denied claims. That's the other doctor's job. We fix them. If you have bills and your claim gets accepted, you can get your money back. And OWCP 915 is the form you use to get money you paid out of your pocket back. Some of the people who are making recommendations for who you should see medically in Massachusetts are not with us. And that's the way it goes, and that's okay. But we're with you, so if they're not with us, are they with you? I don't know. But we get claims accepted. If you find somebody, where was it, New Hampshire, that can get claims accepted, I want to know them. I want to be friends with them. I want to work with them. But I don't know them. And if I don't know them, they probably don't exist, and you found that out. And too many of you are in states like, Massachusetts or Iowa, Idaho, South Dakota, where there's no doctors. And when you find out there is one, and someone tells you to go someplace else, nobody can tell you which doctor to go to. You have the right to choose your own doctor. Nobody can take that right away from you. So I would say to you in Massachusetts to let your friends know that there is a doctor there that gets claims accepted at a greater than 90% rate. That's tremendous. It's unheard of. It only happens at federal injury centers. How do I know? Because that's what we all do.
And we train the doctors.
All the doctors I've ever trained have a greater than 90% success rate. You can go to the other ones if you love failure. And if your unions or somebody tells you to go to the other ones, let them know there's actually somebody that wins. And winning is fun. And it's not painful. And it doesn't cost us money out of our pocket. And we don't lose benefits and rights. And don't let that happen to someone else. I'm sorry it happened to you. Obviously, you can see that I'm frustrated by it. But don't let it happen to your coworkers. You can fix that.
Yeah.
You can fix it. Everybody out there, you can fix that.
Cheryl says, what do I need to do to file doctor's bills? I sent them in, but I don't know if I needed a form to go with them or not.
Yeah.
And are you still working on getting doctor's offices in Dallas, Texas?
So, we're about to have one in McKinney. That's close enough. Believe me, you've been through enough pain. You know that's close enough. We're definitely going to have offices throughout Texas and throughout the United States. We are franchising our company, which means we're teaching doctors to do what we do on a massive scale. And once your claim is accepted, to answer your other question, you have to have your claim accepted. If it's not, you can't get your bills paid. But once it is accepted, you can take the receipts of bills you paid out of your pocket, attach them to a OWCP 915 form, turn that to your claims examiner, you can get reimbursed for that. But you have to have your claim accepted. And people don't get claims accepted. If you had your claims accepted, you wouldn't be here watching. All right, this is what we do. We get claims accepted. That's why I'm teaching doctors on a massive scale to get your claims accepted. And they may be in an office that are called federal injury centers. And some of you may not want them, some people may not want you to go to that office. But if you like losing, go to someplace else, because we don't do that.
You have a right to choose where you go.
And we don't lose. Okay, that's not what we do. Losing, deny claims, that's for other doctors. That's for the doctors that don't have my training protocol, which is incredible.
So Ashley said again, my understanding is that he should have got it because his supervisor was present when he was taken by ambulance. But they said they wouldn't provide it. Like literally refuse. Would a call to OSHA on this be a good call?
Yeah. And a grievance would be a great call. Yes. And EEO. I would do all of them. Maybe I would even talk to the labor board and see if you have charges you can file. What they're doing is they're causing this person who's injured to have to make medical decisions based on personal finances, and that's not fair. That's why we have this whole federal workers' comp system. So you don't have to make medical decisions based on personal finances. That's unacceptable.
Sandra, there is a doctor in Houston that Chris trained. Her name is Dr. On.
And she's
great.
Yeah, I was going to use another word, but great is a good word as well. She's really great.
Besides doctors, do your physical therapists need to know how to fill out OWCP paperwork?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Who asked that?
Charlotte.
That's a good question. And here's why. I have a lot of people that come to Federal Injury Center's offices, and they say, well, I just want to see the doctor and get my claim accepted, which is what we do, and awesome. But I want to go get my therapy someplace else, which you can do, and I'm not against you if you want to leave and go get therapy. Our policy is you go get therapy anywhere you want. We want to get your claim accepted. But when you're there, they have to know how to fill out CA-17s, and they probably don't have medical doctors to do it. They have to understand CA-20s, and they don't probably have medical doctors to fill them out. They have to understand your rules, and they don't. They know how to do physical therapy, and generally they're Medicare trained, which isn't like OWCP. So you can go to those people, and it's fine, and they're probably great PTs. But if they don't understand OWCP, you end up in a really bad spot because they can't help you with the ongoing, administrative hassles you've got to go through. And so that's a problem. We teach all of our offices. Every person that works in every office knows how to fill this stuff out, what the rules are, and what to do to help you. And unfortunately, almost nobody else knows how.
Sandra, go ahead and message me, and I'll give you the info on Dr. On. Or you can Google OWCP Dr. Houston and see if she comes up. If she doesn't, I'll go ahead and post it to you.
And that's actually really good. I'm glad you said that. For all of you that want to know how to find a doctor and you hate ACS, which is the web bill processing portal, like why do they have a provider search there? But it's terrible. And you want to find a doctor, go to Google and search OWCP injury doctor and your city and state. So if you're in Houston, do OWCP injury doctor, Houston, Texas. And doctors that want to be found will be on page 1. You'll be able to find somebody that can help you.
Charlotte said, I did ask my PT to go to your page and gave them some paperwork so they can get on board.
Hey, we'd love to help them out. So, it's awesome.
April said, I'm out of Tallahassee. What doctor do you recommend? April, the only doctor that I know, you could either come to Clearwater or you can go to West Palm.
And you can Google it, like I said. And if you find somebody closer, that's good for you.
Yeah,
and we're happy for you.
Those are the only two places, Clearwater or West Palm, till we get something closer to Tallahassee, which we will.
But Google OWCP injury doctor in your city and state. If you find somebody that's closer, we're really happy for you.
Yes. So, Cynthia said, my claim was accepted, but my bills are not getting paid.
Well, if your bills aren't getting paid, that's a doctor's problem. Because with an accepted claim, the doctor needs pre-authorization. They need to bill the right CPT codes, the right diagnosis codes. There's so many things that they could be doing wrong. I would be more than happy to talk to your doctor to help them out.
Cheryl said, my claim was accepted, so I need a 915 form to file for the ambulance bill and the MRI bill.
Correct.
I'm having trouble getting treatment that is needed.
Yeah. Let us know where you're located, if she didn't already, and we'll try to help you with that. But definitely an OWCP 915 is how you get those bills paid. So we're over an hour.
Yeah, we are going over now.
Oh, we're going over an hour tonight.
Yeah. Donna, yes, Jennifer and Derek are both with us.
Yeah.
So if you get any text messages or phone calls from them,
talk to them.
You can talk to them. And I know you said
they know their stuff.
Yeah, I know you said that this is very confusing. So next week, what we're going to do on our chats, because a lot of you are new to our page, we are going to...
And thanks for being here.
Yeah. We are going to be talking about a CA1, a CA2, a CA-17, and a 16. Just those 4. Which ones to file and what steps you need to take. I'll put a CA-10 on our chat page.
I think we'll use that as a guide.
Yeah, print that out because it's going to be really important because everything on a CA-10 is what you need to do with those 4 pieces of paper.
Yeah.
CA-1 or 2, the CA-17, and the CA-16.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything, you guys rock.
You're welcome, you rock.
Cynthia said, how do I get the ambulance bill paid? I missed that.
You have to attach the receipt. Your claim has to be accepted. Let me start over. Your claim has to be accepted. You attach the receipt to your ambulance bill to an OWCP 915 form, and you turn that into your claims examiner.
Great show, Andrew. Thank you. Good evening, Tammy. Hello, everybody. So, we're going to go more in depth. The views are a little low today.
It's because we didn't share it on everybody's page. That's your job.
What we want you to do is, when we're going to really give you the code and rules and the laws of management, we need you guys to let your people know, because this is happening on a daily basis with management harassing you, and you guys need to know the rules and laws. So what we're going to do on next week's Wednesday night chats, again, we're going to talk about CA1, CA2, CA16, and 17, what they are, and we're going to start off with the CA10.
Yeah.
So those of you that are on the Android, you can go to our new app at Federal Injury Centers and download the app, and all the forms will be there. Make sure you guys are always having a CA10 in your break rooms, or hand them out, because that's the way you're going to be able to get your claims taken care of the right way.
Post them on your bulletin boards. In fact, the CA10 says post on employee's bulletin board. So you can't be in trouble for following the law and posting it. If somebody like management takes it down, they're not supposed to. The break room belongs to you anyways. Put it back.
So, Donna, I can tell you're having a lot of problems. So, next week, Donna, pay attention, because when we go over the CA10 and the 4 forms I was telling you about, you're going to completely understand why the postmaster probably doesn't want to give it to you.
And if you want to look at the CA10 in advance or any form,
go ahead.
Go to Federal Injury Centers with an S on the end, federalinjurycenters.com, and there's a OWCP Forms tab, and click on that, and all the forms are listed there. If you have our app, the Federal Injury Centers app, you can get the forms there as well. And go ahead and take a look at these forms. On the CA10 in particular, print it out.
Yeah.
And start posting it. And don't just post it, though. Tell all your coworkers, hey, I posted this thing, take a look at it. And then tell them to watch us on Wednesday, and we're going to explain it. Because it's complicated. And people get denied claims because they don't know what's on that form. And nobody ever took the time to help. And we're doing it. So you can help us help by telling your coworkers.
So, again, if you want more on management and an in-depth training, you have to let us know. We have to see that you're wanting it. And again, next week, get prepared to understand more what this all is, with all the newer viewers that are on, that have came on, going over CA10, CA1, CA2, CA17, and CA16. And the funny thing is, we talk about the CA16, and when we ask at a convention or at a union meeting how many people have heard about a CA16, we probably, in a room of 10, we get 1 or 2. In a room of 100, maybe we get 16. So you guys have to get familiarized.
Almost nobody knows what a CA16 is, but it pays your bills. It's the difference between being in financial distress or not. So we're going to help you with that next week.
So tell your friends we're going to go over all this. For all the new people coming on and all the new viewers coming on, thank you for watching us. Thank you for trusting us as we educate you in this crazy world of OWCP. And let's get them on there. And Donna, you said, is there more than one place that your info is sent to, like medical unit and other offices?
All your stuff is sent to your claims examiner at your district OWCP office.
Yeah. So. And
by the way, on our app, if you don't know where your district office is, we've got that listed on your app, so we'll be able to help you with that.
You made me blank out what I was going to say to her.
Jessica's watching, though, my sister-in-law, which means my niece and nephew are watching.
Hello, guys. Bryson and Paisley.
The best looking little kid you ever saw. I mean, honestly, it's like they were related to me.
Yeah. So, you guys.
She said, yeah, she didn't even listen to me.
I know. We are at, I think, like 47,000 views on one of our videos. We want to say thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, it'd be great to have all 50,000 of you watching at once, and then by you watching, it would double to 100,000.
Yeah, and you share it. Yeah, share it to everybody else.
It's great. Donna, Shelley, thank you so much. Donna, I don't know what a CA10 or CA16, only heard of it. So next week.
Yeah, watch next week and tell your friends. In fact, do like a watch party with all your friends. You can't have more than 10 people. So get you and 9 people, you guys sit away from each other and watch. Or just tell your friends to watch. Because we really are trying to help. That wasn't sarcasm.
No,
that was
I know.
real. We're trying to help you. We've been doing this for like 3 years now. This is our favorite thing, helping you understand. Like this question you're having, we know everybody has it. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
So go to federalinjurycenters.com and look at a CA10, look at a CA16.
Get familiarized with
understand what the forms are, because this stuff is important to you when you get hurt. Tell your friends, your coworkers who definitely don't know either, just like you. And let's educate people. Let's share this and make sure everyone else understands what's going on, and that's what we're doing here.
Charles says, I'm close to Dallas, Texas, and looking forward to switching to your doctor in McKinney. It's hard to navigate the system, so thank you for teaching us.
You're very welcome.
And I know I can't remember who it was. One of you asked, how do you switch the doctor? The lady in Houston. So, tell her how she can switch to Dr. On.
So there are 3 ways you can switch. None of these are foolproof. It is the system is sort of set up against you. You can, number 1, get your current doctor to write a referral to another doctor. That works a lot of times. Number 2, you can request a change of treating doctors. But that doesn't work often, because you might have been one of those people that thought getting an orthopedic surgeon in the beginning was a good idea, and it wasn't, because they don't understand the system. But they won't let you change from an ortho to a general practitioner. But you can request it. Or you can ask your current doctor to write a letter requesting that they be removed from your case, at which point you should theoretically be able to go find a new doctor. So get a referral, request a change, or ask your doctor to be removed. And when all else fails, go to the doctor you want to go to anyways, because sometimes they just let it go.
Yeah. Charlotte, Sandra said, yes, thank you. I just checking your page out. It's amazing. Charlotte said, so earlier you said the supervisor sent USPS address on the paperwork. Can they be reprimanded for that?
Well,
they were.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were. That's why we know about it.
You'd file the grievance. You'd file all the stuff I said. I mean, you would definitely not let that happen.
No one should change your information. And this is why next week when
it's
we tell
malicious.
you...
They're not allowed to be malicious.
When you're filing your CA1s or your CA2s, you must sit there with them. Don't take it home and then give it to them. Don't say, do it on your lunch.
Yeah.
Sit there with them so you see what they're writing, and then you get the photocopy, you get the receipt, and that way you know you have a legitimate copy, and if things were changed, which we know things were whitened out, you'll see it.
Yeah.
So... yes, they can be reprimanded. And again, guys, get our app. I've fought for so long for this app, so I want it to be the first federal office.
We may be the only one ever.
To get the app, because it was so much work. It almost took a year. And so now that the app is up, it's supposed to be convenient for you guys. So Android users... it is done. It's ready. Go to your Google Play Store and find our Federal Injury Centers app.
Yeah.
Download it, look through it, create an account, and everything that you possibly need to file your claim and laws is on there. To find doctors, your district offices for all the agencies.
All the forms.
All the forms are on there.
Rules, laws, and regulations.
You just click it on forms and you can send it to, I think it's an air printer or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've wanted this for so long, and I will give you an update when the iPhone app is ready. iPhone is just...
we're checking it every day, but it just drags.
Yeah. So, it wasn't easy to create. We
had to go back to the drawing board because they made it in a way that I didn't like it.
Yes.
So for me, it's like, I think of, if I'm you, what would I want? And I want it to be easy, like really easy. And so if I see something that's not easy, I fix it. And this thing was making you leave the app to go to websites, which means you would never go back.
Yeah.
It was confusing. And so it was delayed because I made them make it easy. So if you go ahead and get the app, it's easy. It's definitely easy, and you need to get it.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Dr. Roshanwala, our Clearwater office here, said he is open and he is treating patients. So I know a lot of you, and I thank you, Dr. Roshanwala, for putting that on there. A lot of you from Alabama and Massachusetts, and Florida have been asking if all the other offices, I did send out emails to the West Palm office, Fort Myers office, still waiting to hear back from Miami office. But as of current, right now, all of our offices are all open. We are going to still see patients.
Following safety procedures.
Yes. And, you know, from what Dr. Rashamwala is saying, that despite this coronavirus crap that's going around, we will still see you.
Yeah.
We understand if you're scared and don't want to come to the office while this is going on and you want to stay quarantined in your home. Just please call whatever office you're supposed to go to and let them know you're not going to show up for your appointment.
Yeah, if you don't feel safe, don't show up. Nobody wants you to do that, but we're open, but we are following the safety protocols that we're being told to follow. We're following it. So
if any of the offices is going to get shut down, they're going to hear it from the higher up, and that's when you'll find out.
Yeah.
But right now, as far as we know, and I talked to Dr. Rashamwala yesterday, we are staying open. I spoke to the Birmingham office. We're staying open, and Chris was on the phone with them in Massachusetts yesterday. So we are open. We are still seeing patients for therapy.
We're keeping you far apart, and we're using lots of hand sanitizer. We're cleaning out the machines, and just trying to do the best we can. We all are. Everyone's trying to do the best we can. This is uncharted territory, so we're all just doing the best we can.
Yeah, Sandra, the iPhone app, it's couple days out. I know I keep saying that.
It could be a couple weeks out. We don't know.
I keep saying that. I hate that I keep saying that. But
we're at the mercy of Apple.
Yeah. It's Apple now. Normally when you submit it, it takes 3 days to submit, and then Apple takes 21 days.
Up to.
Yeah. To get it in their system and
it's been a week.
Yeah.
So
please be patient.
It's been way more than a week, believe me, but that original version was not okay.
Yeah, trust me. I've been going crazy, losing my mind. Well, guys, with that said, we hope that we answered some of your management questions. Again, you want to know more rules, laws, and regulations, hop on over to our Twitter page
at Fed Injury Center
and find all the laws there, all the rules there. Don't follow anybody else but Chris.
Yep. Don't waste your time.
We are working on all of our videos, trying to get uploaded to YouTube. We're having some problems there. I don't know why YouTube is not taking our videos and carrying it over, so we're getting that worked out. There's an Instagram page that I have, Federal Injury Center. It's just Federal Injury Center if you want to hop on and get on to Instagram. And then our Facebook page. We're both on LinkedIn, so a lot of you will see me on LinkedIn. I post the same stuff I post on Facebook, business page, on LinkedIn. So,
which is all for you. It's just to help you.
Yeah, it's all for you guys to find. Some of you use certain social media sites, and we make sure that we've covered the drawing board. So, again,
I draw on the drawing board. I just draw.
Donna,
I just draw and draw.
Oh my God.
And draw.
Don, if you don't have Twitter, it's okay. When you get the app, if you're an Android user, you can go check it out and you can connect from our app directly to the Twitter page. So don't worry about that. And then next week, again, don't forget, we're going to teach you on CA1, CA2, CA16, CA17, and make sure that you guys understand why it's important to have the CA10 around with you at all times.
So we're going to wrap this up, but what I want you to do, remember this, and let's end with this. Next week, we're going to be on at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday night. So please do us a favor. Do your coworkers a favor. Share this to all your pages, all your union pages. Share it to your own page. Let everyone know this is happening. Talk about it throughout the week. Let people know that we're here teaching. We need more organic growth in this to be able to help more people, because we've decided not to share it to the union pages. And we need you to share it. Like most of the time we do most of the sharing.
Well, I will be sharing it to the pages that I'm supposed to.
But if you're a road carrier, share it to your own pages. We're not going to do it anymore. They don't want us to. I'm not sure if they want you to be watching, but we want you to be watching, and I think we think this is valuable, right? We definitely think it, and you probably do too. So just share it to your pages, and make sure everyone is watching, because a lack of information means a lack of approved cases, and that's not okay. And we can all work together to fix that.
Yeah. So with that said, everybody, we want to thank you again for watching us tonight. We hope we didn't, scare you off about filing a grievance.
File one or don't. We don't care. I can't file a grievance. I wish I could. I want to file one so bad.
And everything that they are doing to harass you. Don't forget, if they harass you, if they threaten to fire you, tell you that you can't file your work injuries, 1-800-321 OWCP.
Okay.
So with that said, everybody, don't forget to #file a grievance.
And wash your hands.
And we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Bye.